Welcome to The Explainer. You know, today we're going to talk about something that's been around forever. Prejudice. We're going to dive into a text that doesn't just talk about the problem, but actually gives us a pretty radical idea for how to build real unity.
All right, so to get our heads around this, let's start somewhere we've all probably been. School. I mean, it's kind of where we first learn about cliques, right? Who's in, who's out, our first real taste of being on the outside looking in.
And the source material just jumps right in with this question. It's smart, you know? It takes this massive, complicated idea of social division and brings it right down to something we all get, the lunchroom. Those unspoken rules about who sits where.
And look, it seems innocent enough, doesn't it? Just sitting with your friends. But that simple act, figuring out who's in and who's out, that can be the seed for something way, way darker. And the text we're looking at has this incredible real-world example that shows just how fast things can turn ugly.
So let's get into it. This is a story about a classroom experiment from the 60s that is, well, it's pretty unforgettable and honestly, a little shocking.
Okay, so you have to understand the timing here. This was right after Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. And this teacher, Jane Elliott, felt like just talking about prejudice wasn't cutting it. Her students needed to feel it. So she came up with this simple but wow, incredibly powerful experiment.
The craziest part? How fast it all happened. One day, they're all friends. The next, a totally made-up rule about eye color turns them into bullies and victims. The blue-eyed kids, the so-called superior ones, they just ran with it. And the brown-eyed kids, their confidence just crumbled. It's a chilling look at how easy it is to create prejudice when someone in charge says it's okay.
And that's the whole point, right? The experiment nails the core problem this text is all about. These barriers we build, this us versus them stuff, it's often based on absolutely nothing. It's completely made up. But the pain it causes, that is very, very real.
Okay, so we've seen the problem. We've seen how easy it is to tear people apart. The big question is, how do we put them back together? And this is where our source text makes a really interesting turn. It moves away from psychology and introduces a deep, spiritual idea for how to find unity.
The central idea is this really cool metaphor, the church as one body, but with a ton of different members. Think about it. Our differences, where we're from, our culture, our race, they're all real. But the idea here is that they don't have to be walls that separate us. Instead, they're what make the whole body stronger and more complete. And this quote from Galatians really sums it all up. It just goes down the list of all the big divisions of that time. And, let's be honest, our time too. Jew, Gentile, slave, free, male, female. And it just wipes them away. It says, nope, in this new way of seeing things, you are all one.
So really, it comes down to two different ways of looking at the world. On one side, you've got all the labels society uses to split us up. Race, money, nationality, you name it. But on the other side, you've got this totally different view, a view where everyone's equal, part of one big fellowship, called to treat each other with no partiality. It's a choice in perspective.
Okay, that's a great idea, a beautiful principle, but how do you actually live it, right? It's one thing to talk about unity, but it's another to make it happen day to day. So that's where the text goes next.
The text points to one person as the ultimate example of this, Jesus. The argument is that he didn't just talk about inclusion, he lived it. He actively went out and smashed every social barrier, every ism that existed back then.
And just look at this list. Every single one of these groups, women, tax collectors, foreigners, the sick, these were the outcasts, the people everyone else ignored or looked down on. This isn't just a list, it's a statement. It shows that this isn't some fuzzy, abstract idea. It's about actively reaching out and welcoming the people on the margins. Now, what's really important here is that the text doesn't pretend this is easy. It actually says prejudice is kind of part of our human nature, something we pick up from our families, from our culture, but, and this is the key, it doesn't say we're stuck with it. It says we can overcome it. It's a call to move beyond just believing something and actually doing something.
So how do you start? Well, the source has this really interesting exercise. It asks you to finish a sentence, something like this one, but to do it fast, without overthinking it. The goal isn't to be correct. It's to see what bubbles up first, to catch a glimpse of those automatic, unconscious biases we all have. And once you see those automatic thoughts, what do? The whole point is to replace them, to catch yourself in that split second and make a conscious choice to think differently, to swap out that knee-jerk reaction for what the text calls a kingdom way of thinking,
a way of thinking that's all about that unity we were just talking about.
And the text doesn't pull any punches at the end. It closes with this incredibly intense warning from the Gospel of Luke. I mean, the imagery is so strong. It's basically saying that the harm you cause by creating these divisions, by making people feel like outsiders, it is a huge, huge deal. There's a massive moral weight to this.
So that's where this all lands. With a challenge. For you, for me, for all of us. We've seen how prejudice works, and we've seen a powerful vision for unity. The question the source leaves us with is a personal one. What barriers are you going to look beyond?